Hi, folks. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Hi, this is a best-selling author. I threw the best-selling in there. Best-selling author Dick Wybrow.
I'm Melanie from Second Shooter.
This is Jeff with Second Shooter.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Allen from Bridges Ablaze.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
Yo guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola amigos, this is Billy Sheehan.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
Hi, this is Jim Valance.
What's up everybody, it's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey guys, it's Leva Leone.
This is Nothing from Inside the Trojan Horse.
What's up guys, Casandra Carson here from Paralandra and the L.I.F.E Project.
My name's Reggie, and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
It's time once again for the Weekly Pour, the show that knows everything about absolutely nothing. Here are your hosts, TBT and Ace.
Welcome to episode 179 of the Weekly Pour podcast. I am TBT. That guy over there is Ace. Welcome back after us being gone for an entire week. It's almost like it's been years. But here we are. It's been years. And here we are. We decided last week, due to weather and all that fun stuff, to just take an impromptu spring break. Even though it's back in the 50s in a couple days. So I guess that means we get to do it again.
That's fine, but why do we have to have, like we can't have just a soft, easy rain?
Negative.
Why do we have to have like thunderstorms and tornadoes and all this other stuff?
Right.
I mean, what was 6 inches in an hour that come down and flood everything, and it's like Genesis here.
So yeah, the fun part is that there were I counted 1 trillion gallons of water that landed in my pool, and now that I have it open, I had to pump it out.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. That's the second worst part. Is having to pump water out.
Just dive in and cannonball.
It's cold.
Disperse the water.
It's cold.
You'll be out in a second.
It's too cold. I don't have the ladder in yet.
Like you can't crawl over the side.
No. I would fall and I'd break something. Speaking of breaking something, late last week, I was attacked by Bigfoot on my way to work. I'm claiming it was Bigfoot because I'm really not sure what it was. Could have been a deer, but I'm going with Bigfoot. I did not hit it. I did not hit it. It hit me. Boom. It's true. You can look at the damage.
That's how I feel about it. I tried to explain that when I had my deer accident a few months ago, that I did not hit the deer. I was minding my own business.
Right.
The deer hit me.
This Bigfoot didn't even go in front of me. It attacked from the side.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sneak attack.
It was a sneak attack. So I went to our local body shop, and I'll be dropping it off probably next week. It's still drivable, no big deal. But still, I've lived in this area for 12 years now, and that's my first Bigfoot encounter.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
Because they're everywhere. In spite of what anyone says, they're everywhere.
I see them all over the place. But here we are. If you are joining us in the chat, thank you very much. I'm reaching up to the chat. That's why my stupid hand keeps getting in the way. Appreciation for everybody that's jumped into the chat already. If you are watching and you are not into the chat, jump in, say hi at least. Lots of our regulars are in. Of course, Mama TBT is there. Moderator Natalie, who actually is live from a track meet. Pretty sure she's not running because she can't type and run at the same time. I've watched her try. Swath is in, which is great. I was glad to see she was able to swath her way in. I should remove her from the chat completely. And of course, Mrs. TBT is in. And if I missed anybody, my apologies. But maybe you should jump in and say hi so that we know you're watching. Of course, every week when we are actually on, we do this live for the first hour, so you never know what you're going to get. And then if you're not able to watch live, then it will be available wherever you get your podcasts. You could always rewatch on the YouTube or just listen wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to smash that freaking thumbs up button right there. I just hit it myself. Hit that thumbs up.
Smashed it.
I smashed it. And then and hit that subscribe button so you know every time we post a video or we go live, because
we don't even know where this is going.
Not really.
Like we have content, but we don't know where it's going.
Exactly. It's really not. We have things we know we're going to talk about. It's literally in the title of each episode. Like this week, we've got stuff about KISS and Metallica and Creed and Wolfgang Van Halen and Godsmack, and a little bit of information that just came out recently about our friend Casandra Carson, of course, from Paralandra. And we'll get into all of that a little bit later. But as you know, the first, 10, 15 minutes or so, we dive into life, which is where we're at now. This is the time to dive into life. We've already talked about it being cold. We've already talked about getting 1 trillion gallons of water and my unfortunate incident with Bigfoot. I don't think there was anything else. I did take a road trip last weekend.
I saw that. You've been busy. Where did you go this time?
Last weekend, I took a drive down to LaGrange, Kentucky.
That one?
One of the only places that is still considered small town America. And it has a train, many trains, allegedly, that still go straight through Main Street. Like, cars move. Get out of the way. Because if you don't, you're going to get smashed. Like the thumbs
Are there
up.
actual trains?
Yeah, real ones.
Oh, wow. I've not seen a train in I don't know how long.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I go into a store and they say, yeah, we've probably got like 11 trains a day that go through here. I was there for 6 hours and saw none.
Oh, really?
0 freaking trains, except for the one that was at the train museum at the edge of town.
So Saturday, trains don't run.
It wasn't a Saturday. It was actually a Friday.
Trains don't run.
Apparently not on Fridays. Apparently not on Fridays.
Why is there a train museum? Tell us about LaGrange. Is it known for trains? Why are you there?
No, it ain't known for trains because there weren't any.
They got a museum?
They do, with trains in the museum or outside of the museum. It's not in the museum. It's a small building. My garage is larger than the thing, but yeah, it's known for trains. Train track right through the middle. Great coffee shop though. I wish I remembered the name of it. But I went and I went, got a cup of coffee, and it was really good. I asked them what they recommended. They told me. I got it, and it was good.
They said coffee.
Yeah, they said coffee with some stuff in it. And I was like, well, I don't want a whole bunch of sugar. And they said, well, we got you covered. So they covered me with non-sugar stuff.
Did you go by yourself?
No, I took the wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you just point a finger at the map and that's where you went?
No, she had an appointment.
Okay.
Yeah, she had an appointment to go to that was the
pulling teeth to get information.
5 hours long or whatever. And so I walked around town while she was at her appointment and I got to know people. Everybody was friendly. I'm sitting there. I did not look like anybody else there.
Looking like you look. People were still kind to you.
They were walking by. Good morning. And I'm like, oh, hi. Yeah, good morning. Even the dogs. The dog came up and was like, "Good morning." So I
did you point out that You're not from around there. I'm not from
Oh,
around
I
here.
didn't have to point that out.
Now,
That was
now,
readily
why
apparent.
do you say you didn't look like anyone else there? What
You
are you saying
just
about
said
the?
it.
What are you saying about the townsfolk?
That I'm not saying anything about the town folk. I'm saying it about me. Completely.
So there's no one that shaves their head.
Didn't see one.
No one with a Fu Manchu down to their belly button.
Did not see one. I didn't.
What other? No one with an earring.
Or two, no.
Those are outlawed.
Apparently, yes.
Wow. So lots of John Deere hats and flannel shirts.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know. Whatever. Congratulations, because I have to put this out there because it's a big deal. Congratulations to number 1 pick in the NFL draft, Fernando Mendoza.
Yes.
And congratulations to the Las Vegas Raiders. That is the very first time I have ever gotten it right. I keep saying Oakland.
That's fine with me. It's still Deer Creek.
Exactly. It's still White River Amphitheater.
I'm a Raider fan. That was the team I had before the Colts came to Indianapolis. So still a Raider fan. So I'm excited about this, but I think it'll be a minute before he plays. They signed Kirk Cousins for a reason.
Right.
They don't want to throw Fernando to the Wolves. And there's no reason to throw him out there. Let him learn, let him get adjusted, whatever.
Yes.
Have you seen the slew of people on Facebook that we know that are now adopting the Raiders? They're like, I guess I'm a Raider fan now.
I am one of them.
Are you? Okay.
I absolutely am. It was within 5 minutes of the number one pick being televised that I ordered my Fernando Mendoza Raiders jersey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wore my Raiders hat the next day that I already have.
Yeah, I don't have a hat. I
I
have an
was
Indiana
down since
hat, but
84.
I don't have a Raiders hat. I need one though. Can I borrow yours?
No.
Mm.
It won't fit.
Okay. We could tighten.
And I'm one of those people that I like the draft typically, but this year, after seeing Fernando get drafted, I moved on.
Yeah.
Flipped to something else. There was nothing else I cared about it except seeing where the other IU players went.
Right, with a
But I
total of
didn't have
8 being drafted.
Well, and I didn't have to watch the draft for that.
Right. Very true. I still watched. I watched every night.
Did you see North Carolina where Belichick coaches?
No, I'm trying not to lose our fan base by doing the next 30 minutes on this draft.
Well, I won't, but he has 0 draft picks.
That's okay.
None.
Good.
Crazy.
It's great. I think it serves him well. Speaking of draft picks, which has absolutely nothing to do with the draft, KISS is back in the news. Isn't that amazing? If it's not Skid Row, it's KISS. And real quick, before I get into that, yeah, true. Before I get into that, I do want to make mention of your shirt because it's leading me down a different direction. Obviously, some people would know what that shirt represents. Of course, I do. Netflix has a brand new 4 or 5 episode mini series biography, whatever you want to call it, of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, the Hulkster.
I watched it until the final episode. I got through all of it. Lots and lots of old footage, classic footage back when he was in AWA and all this stuff. And I'll get off this Hulk Hogan tangent in a minute. But great show. Lots of interviews with him, with people that knew him, with his son. All this was obviously done prior to his death. The very last episode, there's a segment that takes place after his death, including some backstage stuff with WWE. Interviews with Jimmy Hart, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jake the Snake Roberts, of course, Nick Hogan, which is Hulk Hogan's son, even his ex-wife. There's a lot of stuff on, and his current wife, or his widow. Great show. It was good. It's worth watching until the last 15, 20 minutes of the last episode. It was horrible.
Oh, and then he died.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was intentionally waiting. I tend to avoid these things. I'm not a Hulk Hogan fan.
Right.
Per se. But also the old stuff I like a lot. The AWA stuff, the Memphis footage that when he was, I think Terry Boulder, back then.
Right.
Was he Sterling Golden at one point? Sterling
Something
Golden.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I like that.
Incredible Hulk Hogan before they dropped
Yes,
The Incredible.
That was in, of course, when 1978 or so, 79, when the show was out, The Incredible Hulk. So kind of ripping that off.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of stuff to it, a lot of stuff that you probably didn't realize. There were some times where he was talked down off of the edge because of all of the surgeries and the pain and everything. This is a guy who was 6'6", 6'7", wore a size 17 shoe, and one of his finishing moves was a leg drop.
Which, what does he land on?
His
lands
ass.
on his butt, which affects his lower back. Which, how many surgeries did he have on his lower back?
At least 7.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, and that compression over 50 years. You have to watch it. It's really good. Gives you a lot of perspective. Of course, Hogan has had his own versions of controversy with a lot of stuff, and but I mean, really, who hasn't? But as a fan and a diehard Hulkamaniac, I should have wore my Hulkster shirt. Totally worth checking out, even if you're not a fan of professional wrestling. Watch it to just get a perspective. One of the only people that you could pull up a picture to anybody, almost anybody in the world, and they would know exactly who he is, whether they watched it or not.
Right. You didn't have to be a wrestling fan to know who Hulk Hogan was. He was one of those, like we talked about with Ozzy Osbourne, someone who transcended the genre they were famous for.
Right.
How many, there's probably zillions of people that didn't listen to Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath, but they knew Ozzy from the TV show.
Yeah, exactly. And really, the same can be said for KISS, who is, of course, iconic for their makeup. It's literally on your backdrop behind you. And I was just mentioning a while ago about KISS being back in the news. And of course they are, because they have revealed finally, and we mentioned this about a month ago probably, that a second KISS Cruise, which they call Landlocked in Vegas, will touch down this November in Las Vegas. This larger than life fan experience will return this year following the success of the one they had last year, of course. Which they say drew fans from all 50 states, 32 different countries. And it's going to take place this year between November 13th and 15th at Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas. Huge fan experience. There's a bunch of different things going on, including they're going to return this year with 2 unmasked shows. Which will feature Gene Simmons, of course, Paul Stanley, Tommy Thayer, and Eric Singer. All of them taking the stage in really what I would say is an intimate setting. It's going to have a ridiculous lineup of special guests. I'm going to read some of these off, including an Ace Frehley All-Star tribute with sit-ins from current members of KISS and other surprise guests, as well as Night Ranger, Bruce Kulick, Slaughter, who of course is a former KISS guitarist, Slaughter, Faster Pussycat, Keel, the 80s KISS cover band Quarantine, who is of course fronted by none other than Chris Jericho, And of course, Tommy London, School of Rock will be there. Tommy London, of course, is an infamous radio host. The celebration, which is going to kick off on November 12th with an official pre-party, will feature Enough's Enough, the Ace Frehley Band, and they will be performing Kiss's Rock and Roll Over album, the entire album.
That's good.
And of course, there's Bisto Blanco, the band fronted by longtime Alice Cooper bassist Chuck Garrick. So, yeah, holy moly, that's going to be. This is a lot of stuff that they could never really do on the actual cruise.
Why do you say that?
Because normally, and we're going to talk about one here in a little while. Normally, those are 4 nights. Like 4 nights, 5 days. There's so much that you need to put in there that I think doing this on land or in Vegas, I think is a lot better than actually doing it on the cruise. Yeah, it's a little bit different because you're not on a cruise.
Right.
But doing stuff like this and saying, okay, hey, over here is going to be this and over here is going to be that. And I think they have the opportunity to have quite possibly more participation. You could get more people to something live than you can on a cruise ship.
I think at this point you have to have tributes to Ace.
For sure.
They've Kiss themselves have kind of come around on this a little bit with his passing and cementing his legacy in the band. I think that's a necessity. And then I like that Quarantine's going to be there because typically on the Kiss Cruise, Bruce Kulick has a band and they do all 80s Kiss, which is his era of Kiss,
right.
Which is and to some people, me included, I love the 80s Kiss era. Quarantine, Jericho's band, specializes in that, and they do a very good job. So that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, some of the other things that are going on are a KISS Q&A, which is always fun and interesting because sometimes people come up with some ridiculous questions or just cool ones that nobody's ever thought of. They're going to have KISS karaoke. They're going to have a session, which I would love this, called Ask Doc. And that's actually going to be with Doc McGee. So you get to sit him down and people just, blasting out random questions. I think that'll be pretty cool. If you know who Barry Levine is, he's obviously he's a photographer and he is an infamous KISS photographer. He's also going to be there. I think he's doing a Q&A as well. And of course, there's going to be a panel involving the future of KISS, which the primary subject will end up being the hologram show. So
right.
It should be good.
I wonder if they give you a sample of that. I mean, this has been in development for a while.
Thing. Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Or if they can't, it's going to be Gene and Paul sitting up there going, yeah, it's going to be really cool.
Right.
Okay, that's great.
The thing I think about too is this: when is this? The dates for this again?
I think it was the 12th through the 17th or something like that, or 3rd. I don't know. I moved my notes already.
Okay. Anyway, is that they're going to perform, and
right.
I just wonder how much prep they're going to have to put into doing this and doing it right because they ain't getting any younger and they retired for a reason.
I don't think they'll prep other than just doing sound checks and pre-show stuff. I have a feeling that at least all of them, all 4 of them are staying in as good a shape as they can to be able to perform. These are going to be acoustic sessions.
Okay.
They have to sit on a chair like we are and have their guitars and call it good.
So this will be a little different. It won't be them doing their high energy pyro, KISS.
Oh yeah, no
gymnastics type of thing.
They'll
probably leave that up to KISS-nastics. They'll leave that up to Quarantine and Kulick and these other bands.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you mocking me?
No, I was not. I was speaking under my breath because I thought I was being cool, but I wasn't. Speaking of KISS, there was a recent interview with Peter Criss, who reflected on Kiss's historic 1996 reunion. And I thought this was interesting for a couple different reasons. Number one, he said it was like time stood still. You know, this is a guy that's really looking back at what all happened and the historic worldwide reunion tour they kicked off in 1996. Him and Ace were actually on their own tour called the Bad Boys Tour. But they weren't playing like stadiums and all that. They're doing 500 seaters, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, so was Kiss. They were doing reunions, Kiss conventions, different things like that. So in reading the interview, the transcript from the interview, Peter Criss was basically saying, you know, he met up with Gene Simmons and the only thing he could see in Gene's face were dollar signs. That's not surprising, number one. So basically it was like, okay, let's do this. And of course they end up having this tour where everybody was back out. According to Peter Criss, they sounded great. You know, like the magic was still there. And a lot of fans, yourself included, like you just said, a lot of fans agreed. They were like, you know, this, oh my gosh, this is what we've been waiting for.
Yep.
And it was great at the time. So.
Yeah, I was there at the one in Indianapolis. Yes. And actually, my wife went with me. We both went. And they were fantastic. We got to see all the cool Kiss tricks, you know, with the Ace Frehley guitar,
right,
catching on fire and flying up into the air, and all the cool stuff you see Kiss do. And they sounded phenomenal. Among all things, they sounded phenomenal.
Yeah. Peter Criss last appeared on stage with all three original members of KISS when the group was inducted, of course, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 2014. When I saw that, I did not realize that it had been 12 years since they got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like time has just went by very quick.
Is it really?
Yeah. 2014 is when they got in. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And of course, they received the Kennedy Center honor just this past December, but that was only with Peter Criss, Paul Stanley, and Gene Simmons, because by that time, Ace had already passed and they didn't perform. So it was just
I still haven't heard his new record, Peter's new record.
No, of course, that new solo album that's just called Peter Criss was released this past December, co-produced by, of course, Peter Criss alongside Barry Pointer, who has also worked with Ozzy Osbourne, John 5, Motley Crue, my buddy Steve Stevens. So I haven't either.
I just looked. It's not on streaming yet. I think he only released it in LP. So if you're a purist and like the vinyl, yeah, you can listen to it. But if you're streaming,
I'm gonna grab my phone.
If you're streaming like the rest of us, you're not going to get it for a while. I don't know when he plans on doing that, but it would be nice.
Yeah. Where did you check?
I checked my Apple Music.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's just exactly where I just went, and nothing. So
you said it's self-titled, right?
Correct. You'll have to check YouTube. Somebody has.
I'm doing it right now.
Somebody has to have already done it, and posted it. There's a lot of good musicians on this. Billy Sheehan, of course, who's been a guest on this show, he's on there. Piggy D, of course, or Matthew Montgomery, however you know him. John 5, of course, is on there. Paul Schaefer, who everybody can remember from Late Night with David Letterman, he's on there. So there's a lot of good people on this album, and I would really, really, really like to hear it. However, like you just said, we can't find it anywhere. I'm going to bootleg it somewhere. I'm going to put it out there in the universe and be like, all right, whoever's got a bootleg of that, send it to TBT. Send it to Ace. We need it.
Right. Right. Yeah, I checked YouTube, and there's a review of it, but there's no songs, no nothing. No one has stripped it and
Yeah.
put it into that format.
Yeah. I want to read the reviews, but then I want to make my. We're going to get into an album here, we have a couple more stories before we get to it. I'm kind of excited about it, but we'll get into that one in a minute. Speaking of legends, if anyone has ever listened to the band Accept, not Extreme, the band Accept, they were a German American heavy metal legend band. They've been around for about 50 years, bringing a ridiculous amount of music. Yeah, 50 years. It just makes us all feel old. They are joining together a bunch of A-list musicians for a landmark release. It is entitled Teutonic Titans, 1976 to 2026. And it stands as a definitive statement of the band's legacy, forged in steel and driven by unmistakable riffs. This album is going to arrive September 4th of this year, brought to us by Napalm Records. And they're saying that this album delivers some of the most iconic songs ever written in heavy music. The cool thing about this is the people that they have joining them. The list includes Tobias Forge, who is, of course, from Ghost. Philip Anselmo. I always screw up his last name. Of course,
Phil
from
Anselmo.
of course from Pantera. Him and Kirk Hammett, of course, from Metallica. Mickey D from the Scorpions. The three of them tear through the speed metal classic song "Fast as a Shark," which was released by Accept on the Restless and Wild album back in 1982. Balls to the Wall surges.
I want to hear this.
Oh, right. Balls to the Wall. Of course, everybody should know that song from them. That surges with a powerful range of Rob Halford, of course, from Judas Priest, along with the guitar work of Matthias Jabs from the Scorpions. Holy crap. That's going to sound, anything with freaking Rob Halford always sounds amazing. The man can do Silent Night and do a Christmas album, and it sounds freaking fantastic.
That fits his style, that
it
song.
Does. Oh, yeah, I can hear it now and just,
yeah.
I probably shouldn't have done that with my hand. Of course, Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins is also involved with Dave Ellefson, of course, from Megadeth. Other stars on Accept's extraordinary release include KK Downing, again from Judas Priest, Bobby Ellsworth from Overkill, Chris Jericho, of course, who we just mentioned from Fozzy. Who else? Anybody else on there? Billy Sheehan, of course, who's been our guest on this show. There's so many on there. So Jason McMaster, Dangerous Toys, if anybody remembers that band. He's actually going to be on the album too.
He's not scared.
Huh?
He's not scared.
No, not at all. This album that's coming out has 19 tracks. And all of them are, you can look at that and be like, oh yeah, that's a bunch of good stuff from Accept. So look for that. When did I say that was coming out? Was that coming out in September? Yeah, September 4th of this year via Napalm Records. I am sure we'll end up mentioning that again because that's going to be one of those that's just going to have to be listened to really, really appreciate. I haven't seen any singles out for this yet, probably way too early, but when those do, we'll be sure to listen because it'll be released a lot easier than Peter Criss's album.
There's a lot of albums in the last year or 2 years that have just groups of people coming in and playing guest sessions on these records. It's a bit of a trend right now,
right?
In metal and rock. I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, seems like a lot of people are doing it. This is more of a tribute record, though. Correct?
I don't think so. I wouldn't call it a tribute record. I would almost call it like an anniversary record. It's our anniversary.
Okay.
We're going to do these songs, but we're bringing in a crap load of people.
But not all of these are new tracks, correct?
No.
Right.
No. I said they're going to bring in a crap load of people. And that's a segue into the next story.
Oh, good.
Which is going to be just, some people are going to love this, some people are going to hate it, but Metallica has announced the definitive re-release of its quadruple 7th studio album, Reload. They will re-release this June 26th via their Blackened recordings. The album itself has been remastered. Of course, pre-orders of the deluxe box will receive instant gratification versions of The Memory Remains. Everybody remembers that song, including the remastered original recording, instrumental mix, take 18, floor take, and a live in Brisbane version. Reload Remastered is available in formats including the standard LP, a Walmart exclusive color 2 LP CD, 3 CD expansion edition. I'll never try to say that ever again. Cassette and digital, including a spatial audio mix using Atmos. So if you have a Sphere in your own living room, you'll be able to listen to it. Actually, it probably sound really good on surround sound. Pre-orders and pre-saves of all configurations include The Memory Remains remastered. Additionally, The Memory Remains Live in Philadelphia video is live now. There's a lot of stuff to this album. I was flipping through this, rounding out. Let me scoot back up a little bit here. There is a one-time numbered pressing, features the remastered Reload album, blah, blah, blah. The set's 15 CDs range from the remastered Reload album to never before seen or released collections of riffs, demos, and rough mixes, B-sides and rarities, and a wealth of live material. While it's 4 DVDs, offer a plethora of behind-the-scenes, in-studio, and live footage, on-air, and television appearances, the band's pop-up performance at the Core States Complex parking lot in Philadelphia, visits to Seoul, Korea, and more. Rounding out the box set's content are memorabilia, including a pack of 13 test cards. I don't know what that is. An 11 by 17 Gimme Fuel poster, a sticker, a puss head print, a 10-pack of guitar and bass picks, lyric sheets, 3 laminated tour passes, and a deluxe 128-page book with never-before-seen photos and stories from Who's Who, Where, There.
How much does this sucker cost?
$472,603. I don't know.
Cents.
And 10 cents.
There's a lot to this, and
yeah,
it's interesting to me. Like you said, this will make some people happy, some people not.
Right.
That they picked this record to do all of this with, but I like it because I think Load and Reload get a bit of a bad rap.
Absolutely.
I think they're very good records. And this is mainly because of the shift in sound, correct? From because we have the Black Album, and then we keep that sound going into Load and Reload, and people just, a lot of people loved it, sold a lot of records, and then you have your purists.
What did we say? Quadruple platinum. Yeah. This is an album that was originally released November 18th of 1987 and was the third consecutive Metallica album to debut at number 1 on Billboard, and spent nearly 80 weeks, that's 80, on the chart, attaining number 1 status in 6 countries and top 10 in nearly a dozen more.
97.
What did I say?
You said 87.
I was only off by 10 years. I meant 97, but yeah, because And Justice came out in 88. So
right.
So yeah, it was 97, November 18th of 1997.
And there were people that were were concerned about the sound of And Justice, that the shift was already there into this more metal mainstream sound, and
Right.
I didn't hear it. It sounded like Metallica to me.
Me too.
I had a friend, a huge Metallica fan, that he didn't like that record because I think most of it was they were on MTV with one
Oh
a
yeah.
lot, and that exposure is like, writing's on the wall. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's the same with Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue.
Oh sure.
Uh, Before that even came out, I had friends of mine that were just dismissing it
What
because it was going to be mainstream and pop and all this other stuff.
what's the common denominator between Dr. Feelgood and the Black Album?
Is it the producer, Bob Rock?
Yeah.
Ah,
What does that tell
yeah,
you? So, but
exactly.
here's the thing though, was he wrong? No. The amount of fans, even new fans, you're always going to piss off the hardcore fans. The ones that have been with you from day one and they don't want change because people are reluctant to change. You're always going to piss them off.
Oh,
But the amount of
okay.
fans they brought in, and this goes with Motley Crue as well, because this is the time when Dr. Feelgood came out. These are the times of having a ballad. And they come out with Dr.
Right.
Feelgood, and oh my gosh, I loved that album. Loved it.
Right. I did too when it came out. Now
Yeah.
it's a bit overplayed, but I couldn't get enough of "Kickstart My Heart" back then. Great song. Love
Yeah.
that riff and all of it. But bands can't win. You
No.
either stay stagnant, you stay the same and stay stagnant, and you keep your base, but you never grow.
Exactly.
And you never expand your fan base. And you have in a band, you probably have bigger ambitions. You
Slightly.
maybe you want a headliner tour instead of open. Maybe you want to play
Yeah.
stadiums, right?
Maybe you want to
And no
make
matter
money.
make money, right? And and I don't know their financial status, but I guarantee they weren't making the money they make now when they were putting out Injustice and Kill 'Em All and those records. Nothing
Sure.
wrong with those records. They're great records. They're trend-setting records. They're historic records.
Yeah.
But the tour you see now that they do, and the in the round tour they were doing, that does not exist if they don't put out Load, Reload, the Black Record album. None of that.
No, I totally agree. Absolutely agree. Speaking of bands making what some would consider a comeback, after 9 years, Swedish hard rockers Europe. Yes, we're talking the Final Countdown Europe,
Yeah, where's Viper?
Cherokee Europe, Carry Europe, return with Come This Madness, which is their 12th studio album.
Really?
Yes. And sources are saying this is their most powerful, uncompromising statement to date. Come This Madness is set for release on September 25th of this year. There are songs like One on One, The Cult of Ignorance, and the title track, Come This Madness. The band is channeling tension, truth, and raw energy into a record that feels both deeply personal and globally resonant. The first single, which is One on One, came out yesterday. I have listened to it probably 10 times.
Oh, yeah?
I love it. It is a powerful reintroduction to Europe. If you were thinking you're going to hear Cherokee, you're going to hear the Final Countdown because one of our friends, that's his favorite song of all time. You are in for a treat, as the kids say, because this sounds nothing like that. Yes, do we have vocals from Joey Tempest? Absolutely. Is Joey Tempest about 20 to 30 to 40 years older? Yes. Do voices change? Absolutely. Does this song kick ass? Yes. It's good.
Good.
Right before you came on to the show, that's what was cranking through my speakers, and I had to shut it off so that I could talk to you. But it's good. There is a driving bass riff that's layered with soaring melodies. The track, this is what is described. The track blends Europe's classic sound with a fresh, modern energy, opening with an orchestral-led intro, Truth, before moving into a riff-driven core. It builds into a high-impact, arena-ready hard rock moment. Written during a time of global stillness but developed over years, the song reflects both persistence and evolution, a track the band refused to let go of, ultimately shaping it into a defining moment on Come This Madness. It's good. It's great. As a matter of fact, I may end up just throwing that up on, at least on our Facebook, for people to get a good listen, because that's not what I expected listening to Europe. I kind of chuckled when I was like, oh, Europe's coming out with a new one. Great. It's kind of like listening to the new Extreme and expecting to hear more than words or wholehearted.
Get the funk out.
Or get the funk out. Yeah, no, that Extreme album was all the rage. And if
right. And they're working on a new one too.
Yeah. And if one-on-one, if this one song, and I've said this 1,000 times, if it's any indication, we're going to get a good album out of them. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. So that's going to be September 25th. There are 11 tracks on this album. Of course, again, it is called Come This Madness. One-on-One is the number one track on this album. It is available now. I recommend you check it out. And of course, like I said, we will throw that on our socials in order
How
for
long's
you
it been
to
since they put a record out?
It's 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 9 years since they put out their 11th album. So this is 9 years worth of stuff. So they've got it. So that's something very cool to look forward to. We mentioned this probably a couple weeks ago with Wolfgang Van Halen being on the road in support of Creed. News came out just a couple days ago that Wolfgang Van Halen's Mammoth, of course, has announced summer 2026 tour dates. There were some announced previously, but now he's announced even more U.S. headlining dates. It's not a support act. It is them, headlining. That will be this summer. Those dates start in July in Canada, and they run through July into August, probably about the first 8 days of August, where they will end in Monroe, Michigan at the Monroe State Fair. Lots of different places, some amphitheaters. If you are going to be down in the Orange Beach, Alabama region on July 24th, you can check them out at the Wharf Amphitheater. Of course, that is actually with Creed. Their headlines are going to be Savannah, Georgia, July 27th, Chattanooga, Tennessee, July 29th, Raleigh, North Carolina on the 30th, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, August 1st at the House of Blues, Myrtle Beach. That's a date that was originally scheduled on March 19th that they had to change. So there's a couple more. Virginia Beach, they'll be at Elevation 27 doing a headline, and then Pennsylvania and New York. So that's pretty big. Yeah. It's great to see them when they're supporting Creed, but to have them out doing their own headlining thing, I love.
Yeah, and if you haven't listened to the third record they put out, The End, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Yeah. It made my list of top 5 of the year for 2025. And one of my complaints, as always with Mammoth, has been Wolfgang's vocals getting lost in the mix. You never really can tell how good of a singer he is, but that record elevates him as a singer. Lately, the live stuff I've seen online, you can hear him very well, and he sounds great as a singer. Yeah. He's grown as a singer, and I'm all 4 of the headline dates. That's awesome.
He's one of those once in a lifetime phenomenons, I think. You have people that we've talked about before, like Prince, who could do everything and anything in music.
Right.
And Wolfgang is 100% up to that level.
Right, because he when he puts a record out, he's playing every instrument on that
and
record.
Singing. Yeah.
And singing. Yeah, he's
Everything.
not bringing his band in. He's doing it all himself.
Yeah. So multi-talented for sure. If you remember just, I don't know, maybe a month ago, we talked about what we thought may have been the demise of Godsmack as a band. Well, fret no more, because Sully Erna, of course, the lead vocalist for Godsmack, says there will be new Godsmack music. It just won't be with all the original members. So Sully Erna basically, he was on Eddie Trunk, I don't know, about 6 days ago. He basically had to clarify what he said, because it was everybody's thing was like, oh my gosh, Godsmack is done. They're never coming back. So what he has done is he said, well, it's not exactly what I meant. What I meant is you're not going to get any music by Godsmack as you know it. So Godsmack is going to be back. Guitarist Tony Rombola and drummer Shannon Larkin, those two have departed the band. There's no animosity. There's no bad blood. They just got done. So they finished and they were like, yeah, it's time. We're done. Robbie Merrill, bass player, if I'm not mistaken, is still with Sully Erna and Godsmack. Well, they have now recruited 2 other people, a guitarist and a drummer. The first is the guitarist Sam Colton, who actually previously toured with Godsmack back in Europe in early 2025, and the drummer Wade Murph. He's worked with Daughtry and some of the other acts, and is what Sully Erna calls a fairly under the radar kind of guy. Strong player, really good, attention to details and all that stuff. Now, we may not see anything this year. Probably won't see anything this year from Godsmack, but 2027 looks to be very, very promising for something out of Godsmack 2.0, if you will.
It makes me wonder if something has changed since 2023, because Lighting Up the Sky was supposed to be the last record. That was a big deal, right?
No, it's not. It wasn't the last record. It was the last record, as you know, Godsmack.
Okay, so we have caveats all the time, right?
Yes, caveats.
This is our last tour in makeup, said
Yes.
KISS.
Right.
But, but they continue to tour, and then they lose a couple guys, bring in a couple guys in. I think that opens up the door for Sully to say, well, I wanted to record, but, there were other factors, and now he can do whatever he wants, right?
Well, they do have a 2026 tour, the Rise of Rock tour, that's running in North America this summer. So, it should be good. And if it's one of those, this is one of those bands, if you've never seen Godsmack live, they're amazing. Sully Erna's voice is phenomenal. If you're into Godsmack's music, you would enjoy it. I've seen them at least twice that I know of. I know I seen them a long time ago when they opened for Metallica.
Right.
Gosh, that may have been 2001. So we're talking a long time.
I saw them with Shinedown.
Fantastic band.
Yeah, they were great live.
Yeah.
And I know you're looking forward to the TMZ part of this story, aren't you?
No, I was moving on with only 5 minutes left. With only 5 minutes left, I got 2 more stories and we want to get through. One of them, which will be real quick, and another one I'm super thrilled about. The first is, if you are looking to go on a cruise and you can't go to the KISS Cruise because that is now landlocked. If you're looking to go on a cruise next year, 2027, Creed has announced their 2027 lineup for their Summer of '99 and Beyond Festival Cruise. It will be
This
the
has really
fifth year.
become a thing, hasn't it?
Yeah, it will be the fifth
Because
year.
they just finished the Creed Summer of '99 cruise, I think, didn't they?
I think so. I don't remember the
Yeah,
date
last
for
week.
this year. Yeah. So next year will be the fifth year, the fifth voyage, and we'll depart from Miami on April 17th, and it will be back on April 21st. Again, 4-day, 5 night. If you're looking to get involved with that, the tickets, I believe, go on sale sometime next month, maybe around the 13th, I believe. But the biggest thing right now is they have finally announced the lineup. That lineup includes Creed, of course, Breaking Benjamin, Seven Dust, Zach Myers of Shinedown, Hoobastank, Our Lady Peace, Hinder, Fuel, Drowning Pool, Fastball, Sponge, The Flies, Ashes of Billy, and there's still more to be announced. That is absolutely late 90s, early 2000s rock. And that's going to be a phenomenal cruise.
Yeah.
So if you're looking
that
for
would be one
something like that,
that would be something to go on.
yeah.
Is that especially if you grew up in that era, that post grunge rock era. I mean, this is it right here. With Hoobastank, who has been everywhere lately.
Yes, they have.
Everywhere. Fuel, who's on their third or fourth or fifth new singer, but they still sound great.
Yeah, Breaking Benjamin, Seven Dust. I love those bands.
Fastball.
It's almost like that era, that time is making a comeback.
Yes.
Can we attribute that to the success that Creed had on their tour?
I think that has helped a ton. I think that's helped these bands out a ton.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Hinder and Fuel have been touring. Some of these other bands, I'm not sure how much they've been actually working, but they are now.
Yeah, exactly. Our final story for tonight is going to revolve around someone we want to personally tell congratulations because Casandra Carson, who of course is with Paralandra, but has another gig going with Josh Rand, who works or plays for Stone Sour, who's the guitarist for Stone Sour. Their combined effort called the L.I.F.E Project has signed a deal with Frontiers Music. That's a big deal. Number one, they now have a label. The deal puts the project, the L.I.F.E Project, in a stronger position to reach a wider audience with new material already in the pipeline, which is great to hear. With label backing now, the L.I.F.E Project is set to push its sound further while building on the groundwork established since its formation. In a recent interview or a quote, Josh Rand said, "I'm pleased to announce the L.I.F.E Project will be joining the Frontiers family. It was important for me to be on a label that wanted to be cutting edge in the industry, but still have that mom and pop relationship with the artist. I'm looking forward to working with Jeff and Tom, who are part of Frontier Music, to bring the L.I.F.E Project to our loyal fans." That's freaking badass. I'm excited for him and for Casandra, who of course has been on our show a couple times. This could be some groundbreaking stuff for them.
Well, new music from them has been a long time coming. And we spoke with Cassandra when they were, Paralandra was putting out the Body Electric a few years back. And they had already recorded tracks for the L.I.F.E Project. But, Josh had some issues, some health issues and things like that. And, things happen. But now we're back on track, it seems. And I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, if you've never listened to him, the L.I.F.E Project blends Rand's heavy groove-driven guitar work with Carson's wide-ranging vocal style. The sound pulls from classic metal, thrash, and progressive influences, keeping things grounded in heavy riffing while leaving room for melody and dynamic shifts. The L.I.F.E Project, who if you can hear Casandra in the intro, she says it, of Paralandra
and the L.I.F E Project.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. We may just have to get her on as a 3-time guest to talk about this upcoming album when it drops. So
that would be great.
Yeah, and if you've not listened to her voice, holy crap. Moderator Natalie just said the same thing. She just said her voice is so awesome. Yeah, it is. So we're looking forward to hearing new music from them. Congrats on the record deal. And we'll have to see about getting Casandra back on. But that's episode 179. We appreciate everybody being here on this Wednesday, April 29th, 2026. We will be back next week, the night before I go to Indy to see Youngblood.
Ooh, finally.
The concert season kicks off officially.
Finally. Yay.
Finally. Yeah. It's going to end with Motley Crue, allegedly. I don't know if that one will actually happen. What? I don't know. We'll see you next week.